dismantle and rebuild the pedal board. In the last thing I recorded, I unboxed some pedals. Now, it is time. Oh dear, that's probably just going to end up coming off here. I'll give it its best shot of holding on. Now it's time to disassemble the board, talk about what's on it and why, and reassemble it. So, first is this little, what I call the Fender nipple, that just turns on and off the overdrive on my Fender Rumble. And then I'll unplug this little USB cable here. We got the wireless, that's self-explanatory as well. This here is both my light and my aggressive overdrive at the same time, because there's a lot of really good tone in this guy at lower saturations. Aguilar Aggro is a great bass distortion that's very noisy as well. So it's kind of why we have the noise suppressor, let's be honest. It's not for some $30 pedal, it's for the aggro. Next, we'll pull off this little guy. Yeah, Donner squared modulation multi-digital verb kajigger, which I was using as a flanger temporarily, but now I'm going to use it as a tremolo. Well, and I can use it as chorus and stuff like that too. It adds more options than just the flanger, but primarily it's going to be a tremolo. Next we will pull off the... Oh, I didn't actually Velcro this guy yet. I should probably go do that. This is the Cool Music Fuzzter. Sorry. Fuzzter is an Aguilar pedal. There's three reasons why I have this. It's cheap, it has a clean blend, and the lighting's cool. This ring here lights up green, and the knobs all light up. And the knobs are all aluminum. And it's like, it's a good fuzz pedal, man. It's awesome. I love the casing and the fact that it's built incredibly well and really light and got a clean blend on it, so you can use it on guitar or bass. I'm really not good with setting up distortions, and that's why the Aftershock has been replaced by a $30 pedal. Because I couldn't make that sound the way I wanted to. So it's being sold and replaced by a $30 fuzz pedal, because the only other fuzz pedal I've had that I really liked was another $30 little nano pedal. I don't remember the name of it. I can't find it anywhere. So I can't get another one of them. So I chose this because it was cheap, has a clean blend, and I've used a Cool Music pedal before. I think it was a Delay, and they look really cool. I really like the form factor, so I thought, why not? So there we go. Next, we're gonna, oh dear, next does not want to come off. My MXR bass envelope filter. It's shiny, it's purple. I kind of have a thing for the color purple. And teal. I like all the colors, really, let's be honest. I mean, look at the shirt I'm wearing. Sweater, rather. But this guy is the best sounding bass envelope filter I've heard. Whether it be in demos, in person, trying out, even modeled versions of this pedal aren't as good as this pedal. It is great. And, like, a big reason why I really want to keep running a pedal board, even though, you know, a big part of me would love to just move over to a modeling amp for bass as well. Namely the Rumble Stage 800. That'd be really cool to have and useful in a lot of cases, but wouldn't have this guy. Nor would it have another effect here that I found to sound kind of unique. And that is the Boss bass driver here, which is not the yellow one that sounds all fizzy and noisy. This guy sounds unlike any other pedal I've heard. It's really cool, and I got a great deal on it. That's why my pedal board's kind of becoming so heavily influenced by Boss. They're just so cheap for what you get, you know. And the reality is, I don't need these amazing boutique pedals. I'm just looking for, in this case, a good distortion, a good fuzz, good overdrive, something to cut the noise, a solid flanger. Just, you know, this is one of the cheapest tremolos you can come across, and it's in a great pedal, and this is about as boutique and high-end as this board gets. Is this and the aggro. And that's mostly because I'm really picky about my distortions. You know, you wouldn't expect somebody to end up with a bass driver. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this combination on a pedal board for dirt. You know? There might be somebody who has a kind of cheap distortion and a really cheap fuzz, but a high quality overdrive, or some sort of combination of like cheap, medium. This like the touch is expensive. This is now the most expensive pedal on the board. It's not the most expensive pedal I've ever bought, but you know. It's just a unique combination, and I like that. Next up, another pedal I don't see anybody really talk about. And a pedal I got in a trade simply because it was like, well, I could use a compressor, and the color's cool, and hey, it's a limiter. I've always wanted to try a limiter. So, it is a limiter when you set the ratio up to full. Everything underneath that is compression. So it is a compressor pedal. And as long as you leave this enhance knob, which is a mid scoop that also brings in noise on the top end, if you just leave that down, you just have this really good transparent compressor that I got in a trade for a pedal that I got for like a third of its price. So, again, Boss is on the board because it fits the bill, and it's doing it for cheaper than anybody else. Like, comparable to a Donner pedal like this. You know? A little bit more expensive, but not by much. And then finally, a pedal that isn't on here because it's cheap, it just happens to be cheap, is the Snart pedal tuner. It's just got the biggest, best display I could find for a tuner, and I'm visually impaired, so the bigger, the brighter, the easier to read, the better. And to be fair, it's not perfect, because the perfectly tuned and the just out of tuned are like the same color. Snark, if you ever watch this video and revise this, change that. Make the perfectly in tuned a very distinct color. And then this is a perfect tuner. Literally perfect. Like, you can run other pedals off of it. You can set it below 440 if you're one of those people. You know? It's great. Also, just gonna quickly make sure that this guy is functional. This is my board, which is currently plugged in. And now it's not. It's a Donner of some sort. Does it say? It does not say. But it's one of their nicer ones. And so I paired it with their matching power supply, which doesn't sit in here as nicely as I would like. I was actually really surprised that it's not a better fit, but I don't know. It works. It's got a ton of inputs, which is real good because, as you can see, there's a ton of pedals to plug in. And yes, I have to undo all my cable management. There is no real way around that because I don't like how those effects were arranged before. And this is how I make sure my wireless is charged. That's one of the biggest reasons why I have this power supply, besides the fact that like it's designed to work in this board and it fits in it and it allows like 12 and I think even 18 volt pedals. Yeah. So I can actually run an 18 volt pedal should I ever get overdrive or something like that. And I can run 12 or 9 volts off of this one. And then it's all 9 volts off there. It is time to plan out the pedal order here. So we have the board like that. And then I get to practice my working upside down. That'll be fun. That'll be the basic layout, essentially. It allows me to make my signal dirty and then hit it with the tremolo, which I want to do after the dirt, but before the envelope filter, because that's how I got the wacky, thing going on in the intro. Is going trem and envelope filter. It sounds really cool. And tremoloing like a fuzz or a heavy distortion can sound really cool too. Plus it also puts my modulation all after my dirt, which is the way I prefer to arrange it. I honestly feel like the tuner can go anywhere. I know you're supposed to put your tuner at the front of your line because you lose some accuracy if it's at the end of the pedal board and stuff, but I've tested it with this exact tuner at the end of the board and the beginning. No difference at all. Not on the harmonics, not on any different string. So, I haven't tested it with other tuners, so I can't say that claim is true or false. I could imagine tuners, especially ones that aren't as good of quality, being more affected by their placement in the signal chain, especially if it's, coming after an effect. Although in general, I found that my compression hasn't made a difference with the tuner. It before was, in fact, like this. And for visual purposes, I might honestly just go boss, 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 this guy, And here it is, in all its glory. The completed pedal board. I've got the Rumble's overdrive switch on here, the new flanger, the little boss lineup up here, all the pretty colors. Love that purple sparkle. It's that little guy. This is the green lighting I was talking about earlier, which is really cool. Yeah, your fuzz volume, clean volume, gain, tone. This little guy. It's pretty mirrored effect. And it is also a metallic pedal. The Aguilar. And there it is, the trusty tuner. Everything powers on, nothing blew up. As you can see, there's some blue lighting from underneath too. And I liked it before, I'm sure I'm gonna like it even more now. Gonna have some food and test this out. So thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. We'll catch you next time.